Okay, listen, I just had to add this to my video. I'm editing the video right now, and as I'm looking for more pictures of Patti Labelle to illustrate, you know, her life and career and everything, I land on this picture, so I'm posting it, and look at the dress I have. It's the same one, and I've had it for years, and it's a Patti Labelle dress. I cannot believe it. So this is from a company called Black Tie. I found it in thrift, and I added the fur, and so, but I have a Patti Labelle gown. I cannot believe this. And you know, I swear on my mother's life, I just put it in the back because I thought it looked like a Patti Labelle gown, and so in this one, and I can't believe it. I own a Patti Labelle gown. Now, Miss Labelle, is this yours? And that you just threw it out, gave it to Goodwill, and oh my God, I'm gonna die. Okay. Hi everybody, and welcome to a new episode of my 12 favorite live albums. And today we are tackling, and I'm saying tackling because this lady, you can't go any other way about it, Patti Labelle's incredible 1992 live album, Patti Labelle Live. And one of my favorite live albums, and one of my favorite artists, and I really wanted to showcase her in this series because she is just absolutely brilliant. She's fabulous, she's glamorous, she's bigger than life, she has the most unbelievable voice and stage presence. And it was about time in 1992 that she had her very first live album, would you believe it? So this album is comprised of 12 songs. The opening and the last song are studio songs, which are called All Right Now and Up There With You. They were produced and recorded in studio, but the meat of the album is the live part. 10 incredible songs. Some are huge hits of Patti Labelle. Some are lesser known songs, but songs that are very close to her heart. Now, Patti Labelle was, as you know, in a girl group. The first one was Patti Labelle and the Bluebells. And for that reason, a lot of relation with the one and only queen of, I was going to say Motown, but queen of everything, Diana Ross. So they knew each other from the beginning. And then when Florence Ballard left the Supremes, it's Cindy Birdsong, who was a Bluebell, who joined the Supremes, and she really wanted to be part of this glamour squad, which was Diana Ross and the Supremes. And then so Patti Labelle and Diana Ross had a kind of a relationship with a few ups and downs, and then they met again later on in life when they were both hugely established solo stars, and they stayed extremely good friends for up till now. And they're also very, very, very respectful of each other's careers. But there are little funny stories, you know, gossipy stories, that I'm going to tell you along the way. So the very first song is Release Yourself, and it is written by Nona Hendrix from the second group, which Patti Labelle belonged to, called Labelle, the incredible group. And Nona Hendrix, along with Sarah Dash, were Patti Labelle's partners, and they were known for those incredible outfits. And when they did the Cher show in the mid-70s, and Cher came in a Labelle costume, you know, black and silver, I almost died. And this song, Release Yourself, an incredible opening song, written by Nona Hendrix, and it really gives you a taste of what this concert's going to be. You know, release yourself. And Patti Labelle releases everything. I mean, she just kicks her shoes off. In the CD, you have a couple of pictures of Patti Labelle on stage, and you have a couple of backstage shots, and one of them is a glass door closet with only shoes, you know, hundreds of pairs of shoes, and then Polaroids with Patti Labelle's outfits that go along with the shoes. Very, very glamorous stuff, and that's what I love about Patti Labelle. All the glamour and the elegance and the beauty, and at the same time, as she says, I get up on a plane, first class, and I take out of my handbag sardines, and I stink up the whole place because I don't like the food they serve on the plane. That's Patti Labelle. She's real, she's fabulous, she's incredible. And live, she gives everything. She kicks off her shoes and she sings, and she's just absolutely brilliant. The second song is Somebody Loves You. It quiets down the show. It's a very short love song. And then she gives the microphone to one of her background singers. There are some incredible background singers and an incredible orchestra with her. And he finishes the song while she goes and has a costume change. Now she recorded this at the Apollo Theater during 3 nights, but the show was recorded on 1 night. But apparently every single night she had all different gowns. She never wore the same thing. You know, generally they wear this, you know, if they have 4 changes of costume, they'll wear them the next night and the following night. She changed, and that is because reportedly she heard that some of her fans came to 2 shows or 3 shows, and she said, I'm going to give them a little something. So she wore different clothes, and what a wardrobe she has. New Attitude, one of her hit songs from the mid-70s, really fast-paced song. I loved it. It's actually from the 80s, but it's a great song. It's a dance song, and you know how dance songs are very difficult to sing live on stage, but she really, really gives it with her unbelievable voice. If Only You Knew, which is a beautiful love song dedicated to people who she dare not say, you know, how much she cares about them and how much she loves them. And this is where Patti Labelle, such a powerful voice, is able to bring it down, quiet down the audience, and with this tiny, tiny voice. But then, you know, there's a bang, and then she says, you know, sometimes, you know, and then she talks about love and how men can treat you bad, and then you're really able to, you know, stand up for yourself as a woman. Very, very powerful. Patti Labelle live is not singing on a stage. She is in a church, and the people who come to see her, it is a communion of sorts, and she is preaching and teaching the gospel to them. The gospel according to Patti, but she can preach whatever she wants. You Are My Friend, written by Patti Labelle, partly by Patti Labelle. Huge hit. It was a hit for Patti Labelle, and then it was sung everywhere in concerts, and it was on her very first solo album that came out in 1977 when she split with the group Labelle. Lady Marmalade, her huge, huge, huge planetary hit with the group Labelle, about a Creole lady of the night. And in French, she says, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Which I loved when I was a kid, because I would hear all the girls, you know, in my school, we were 9, 10, singing it, but it really means, do you want to spend the night? Feels Like Another One is another song written by Patti Labelle, very soulful, powerful song, and she leaves the song in the middle to go for a costume change, and then she comes back. It also gives Patti Labelle a little bit of time to recuperate from her voice, because she really gives in every single song. The beautiful song Wind Beneath My Wings, which was a huge hit for Bette Midler for the movie Beaches, sung at first by Sheena Easton in the 80s. Very, very beautiful ballad. And Patti Labelle dedicates this song to her sister, who was a huge, huge, huge fan of Patti Labelle, the artist, and she would push Patti Labelle forward, and Patti Labelle was a little bit shy and embarrassed by this, and it's very, very touching moment. You could hear a pin drop, and Patti Labelle is just absolutely exquisite in her delivery of that song. There's a very cute story about Diana Ross and Patti Labelle when they were both performing at the Apollo as Supremes and Patti Labelle as the Bluebells. Diana Ross went to buy the same outfit as the Bluebells, which was a gold lame pantsuit from Woolworths. And because the Supremes at the time were not the big stars, they went on first. They were actually known as no-hit Supremes. But because they arrived on first, anything they did, the others seemed like they were copying. So Patti Labelle said she was furious, and she said, I wanted to beat her up. And I thought that was so cute. And, you know, people were very often ask Patti Labelle, you know, what their, you know, diva fights are all about. And it's just about that gold lame suit. When You've Been Blessed is the Patti Labelle that I adore. I mean, I love every Patti Labelle, but it's the preacher singer. It is a song. It is a religious song. It is gospel. She is accompanied by the Wilmington Mass Choir, and she is capable of singing with the choir like nobody else, because even though her voice is so powerful, she never ever hides these singers in the back. She just blends in so incredibly. And I just think that's fabulous. It's such a talent to be such an explosive personality, but to give room, to leave room for the other artists that accompany you. And that's part of what I love about Patti Labelle, is her generosity. She ends the incredible concert with a medley, but it's just a tiny bit of Don't Like Goodbyes, which is a song that I adore, written by Harold Arlen and Truman Capote. I found out when I looked on this album, when I was doing research for this album, I never knew. And then she goes into her classic rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Harold Arlen as well, the, you know, very famous Judy Garland song. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can sing Over the Rainbow like Patti Labelle. Of course, Judy Garland, you know, she sings it, and it's her song, and she sings it amazingly. But it's been sung by so many people, including Diana Ross at the Oscars. The way that song climbs and climbs and climbs, and it's just an absolute miracle, the way she's able to really give everything to that song and still make it so sensitive. Because when she says, if a teeny weeny bird, she's just extraordinary, and it really ends the show in such a way. The rest of the live show, the rest of the CD, is the applause and her saying goodbye, and you can tell that the audience is just absolutely mesmerized by the incredible talent, incredible genius that is Patti Labelle. One of my favorite live albums, and the reason why I love live albums, because it's a one take, it's what they give at that moment, and it's just that one moment in time, and it's just absolutely perfect. Please give a listen to Patti Labelle live, and I'll see you next week for another one of my favorite live albums. Bye bye.